Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss an essential topic of English grammar, that is subject verb agreement. Let's begin. Subject verb agreement is basically a rule that states that the verb in a sentence must be matching the number of its subjects, which means that according to the number of subjects that is used in a sentence, we determine the verb. If a subject is singular, we use a verb that is also singular. And when a subject is plural, we use a verb that is also plural. Here is an example to make your understanding even simpler. Singular subjects take singular verbs and plural subjects take plural verbs. Here the first example is Ria eats rice every day. Here the subject Ria refers to one girl, which means that Ria is singular, and the verb eats is also singular. In the second example, it is they eat rice every day. Here they refers to plural subjects and eat is also plural. A point to note here is that eat and eats, these are main verbs. Like eat is a main verb. So when we add s to a main verb, it becomes singular. Like eat is plural and eats is singular. If I take another example, Ria runs to school. Here runs is also singular and they run to school. Here run is plural. Now, why should we study subject verb agreement and why is it important? Number one, it improves clarity and accuracy in your speech. Understanding of subject verb agreement and its correct usage ensures that the message that we are trying to convey is done clearly and accurately. It avoids confusion or misinterpretation on the part of the listener. Number two, it ensures effective communication. It facilitates effective communication by establishing a smooth flow of ideas, and it also engages the audience and conveys the intended message. Better expression of ideas. It enables clear and concise expression of ideas and helps us to convey complex ideas and concepts effectively. If we use subject-verb agreement accurately while we are speaking or writing, it helps to convey the messages that we want to convey without any error and misinterpretation on the part of the listener or the reader. Now comes the most important part of this video, that is the rules to remember while we are doing or practicing subject-verb agreement. Rule number one, the pronoun you always takes a plural verb. We never say you is a good person. We always say you are. Here the examples given also support the same point. You are asked to clean the room. You were invited to that party. You sing very well. Yeah, sing is again a main verb. So when it becomes sings, it is singular, and when it is sing, it is plural. So we always use plural verb with the subject you. Number two, if a sentence begins with the word here or there, the verb agrees with the subject that follows it. Look at the examples. Here are the ways on how to preserve meat. The subject is the ways, and the ways comes after the verb are. As ways is plural, we are using are. Now, if it becomes way, then it will become here is the way on how to preserve meat. So as ways is plural, are is also plural. Second example, there is a huge gap between the rich and the poor. Yeah, a huge gap is a single term, is a singular term, so is also singular. To the next rule, if two subjects, one singular and one plural, are connected using either or neither nor, then the verb agrees with the subject nearer to it. For example, look at the first one. Neither the players nor the coach is attending the meeting. Now the verb very clearly is over here. It is a be verb and the subject is the coach, which is nearest to is. Now there are two subjects, the players and the coach. But according to the rule, we have to consider the subject that is nearest to the verb. Neither the players nor the coach is attending the meeting. Here, as coach is singular, is also singular. Now, in the second example, either the manager or the singers are attending the function tonight. Here again, manager is singular, singers plural, and as singers is the subject closest to the verb are, so we are using plural. If it was the reverse, like in the first example, then here also the verb would have been is. So point to remember is that always consider the subject closest to the verb. Moving on to the next rule, a singular subject followed by words or phrases like with, as well as, in addition to, accompanied by, etc. takes a singular verb. For example, Jake, accompanied by his sisters, is participating in the contest. Now here the main subject is Jake and his sisters are with him. So we will only consider Jake here. And as Jake is singular, is also singular. Similarly, in the second example, Mom, as well as my brothers, is enjoying the party. Now the main subject is again mom, and as mom is singular, is also singular. Here, if I change this example a little and say that my parents as well as my brothers, then the verb will become are, as parents is a plural term. Now, the next rule, singular subjects when joined by and require a plural verb unless they mean one thing. Now, for example, Sam and Shri are reading books. Now, Sam and Shri are two different people. That means that they are plural subjects. So, we are using the plural verb are. Now, in the next example, my mentor and friend is here. Now, in this example, the mentor and friend both refer to the same person. Like the person who is my mentor is also my friend. So as they refer to the same person, the subject becomes singular and therefore we are using is as the verb in this context. Now, if I give another example over here and say that my mentor and my friend are here. Now, when we are using my before both mentor and friend, it indicates that mentor and friend are two separate people. Therefore, the subject becomes plural and the verb becomes are. Next rule, if expressions are followed by uncountable noun, we use singular verb with them. For example, some milk is needed. We don't say that some milk are needed or some water are required. Right? We always use singular verbs with uncountable nouns. Next, most of the work has been done. Now we cannot really count work. So we are using the singular term has. Moving on to the next rule. Two singular subjects joined by either or neither nor require a singular verb. For example, either mom or dad is coming with me to attend the event. Like only one person is coming. So the subject is singular. Like either my mom will come or my dad will come. Both of them will not come. So the subject becomes singular and the verb becomes is. Second example, neither Ram nor Sham is waiting for you there. Now, Ram is also not waiting, Sham is also not waiting. Like both of them individually are not waiting. So we are considering singular subjects here. Ram as a singular entity, Sham as another singular entity. So the verb becomes is. Moving on to the next rule, the indefinite pronouns like several, few, both, many, others are always plural. For example, both were asking for the juice. Here, both means more than one, like two. So the subjects are definitely plural, and that's why the verb is also plural. Several are seeking justice. Now, by several, we mean that it's more than one. It's multiple people or multiple entities. That's why the verb is also plural. Moving on to the next rule. The indefinite pronouns like all, some, most, none are singular or plural depending upon the meaning of the sentence. For example, some students were absent. Here again, you have to consider whether the uh, meaning in the sentence intended is for the countable subjects or uncountable subjects. Like students definitely is countable. Therefore, we are using plural were. Next, some amount of ice cream is left. Now, ice cream is a singular entity, and as we are saying some amount of ice cream, it is most definitely singular because we cannot count ice cream like that. All right. Now, if we say that the ice cream vendor had only a few sticks left, now in that case, the ice cream sticks become countable. All right. And here, as we are saying some amount, now amount is uncountable, so we are using is. Moving on to the next rule. Expressions of time, money, weight, and distance is always singular, even if it takes plural form. Now, we do not say 5 years are a long time to wait. We say 5 years is a long time to wait. Here, the example is 2 years is a long time to wait. Now, $1 million was given back to the owner. Now, we don't say $1 million are. This is because when we are considering a duration and a period of time or an amount of money, we are doing it together. Like $1 million, we are considering the entire amount as a single unit. That is why we are saying $1 million was and not $1 million is. When a specific amount of money or a specific period of time is considered to be a single unit, we use a singular verb. 2 years is considered as a single duration of time. And we are not considering each year individually here, but we are considering 2 years as a total amount of time. Same goes for the second example. Now, moving on. When the amount of money is taken as units, the verb is plural. Right in the previous rule, I said that $1 million here is considered as a singular stack of money. Now, when I take out that stack, like I remove each note from that stack and count each note individually, then we have to use a plural verb. Like if I say that there are 1 million $1 notes in $1 million, then it means that there are 1 million $1 notes. Like we are counting each $1 note individually. So the verb becomes are. Here, 25 gold coins were found in that box. Like we are considering each gold coin and counting them and coming to the conclusion that there are 25 gold coins in that box. 150 rupee notes were kept in that purse. Like we are not counting how much amount the 150 rupee notes are making. Like we are not considering it as a total stack of 5,000 rupees. What we are doing is we are counting each 50 rupee note individually. Therefore, it becomes a plural subject. Moving on to the next example, words like pants, jeans, trousers, tongs, scissors, shears are always plural. As there are two separate segments joined together in these subjects, therefore we take a plural verb. However, if the word paired is used, the verb is singular. Like if I say these scissors are very sharp. Now scissors, as we know, are two separate points joined at the middle with the help of a screw, right? So if I say these scissors are very sharp, then we are considering scissors to be a plural verb. Now if I say this pair of scissors is very sharp. Now pair always means that two, right? Couple, pair, it indicates that there are two subjects. Now when we are saying this pair of scissors, then already we are considering pair as the subject, main subject, pair of scissors. So the verb becomes singular. Here the trousers are torn into two. And the second example, the pair of scissors is broken, or the pair of trousers is torn into two. All right, moving on. Adjectives used as nouns are always plural. For example, the poor are always deprived of their basic needs. Now, here by the poor, we mean the poor people, the poor masses, everybody. So, the poor masses indicate a plural subject. Like there is not one individual poor, but the poor in general. Similarly, in the second example, the efficient are what this country needs. Like this country needs more efficient people, efficient students. So the efficient are what this country needs. Next, all can be used in both countable and uncountable. We know that again the countable uncountable thing is coming in. When used as uncountable, we use singular verb, and when used as countable, it takes plural verb. For example, all is good nowadays, all have gone to Mumbai. Now all is good nowadays, we know that we are referring to something that is uncountable, like our health or our situation in general. All is good nowadays. And in the second context, all have gone to Mumbai, we mean that people, all people have gone to Mumbai, or all of my friends have gone to Mumbai. So it indicates countable nouns as countable members. So the second example, we are using the plural verb have. Now moving on to the next topic, that is exceptions. Now the exceptions to subject verb agreement are as important as the rules. So we have to keep them in mind while we are practicing the topic. Now exception number one, collective nouns. Collective nouns like team, family, group, jury can take either singular or plural verbs depending on the context. This means that if I give you an example, that jury means a group of judges. Okay, the collective noun term for jury, for group of judges, is jury. Now example number one is that the jury gives its verdict. Here the group of judges collectively have decided on a case, and they have come to the final conclusion, and they have given their verdict. So the jury here is treated as a singular subject, as a singular group of judges who have the same verdict, and therefore the verb is gives, which is also singular. Now, if I say the jury are divided in their opinions, here each member of the jury, like each judge, has a different opinion on the said case. Therefore, there is a clash of opinions among the judges of that jury. Hence, as we are considering individual members inside the group, therefore the verb also becomes plural. The jury are divided in their opinions. So when you fill up blanks, or when you use collective nouns in your sentences, please note whether the collective nouns refer to the group together or to each member of the group. Okay, moving on to the next exception. Singular nouns ending in S, like physics, mathematics, news. We always say no news is good news. We don't say no news are good news. Or we say what is the news today. We don't say what are the news today. Then we say mathematics is my favorite subject. We don't say mathematics are my favorite subject. Even if the nouns end in S, we have to consider them as singular because they have a singular meaning. Moving on, compound subjects. Compound subjects connected by and usually take plural verbs, but can take singular verbs if the subjects are considered a single unit. Like that example, the previous example, my mentor and friend. Although mentor and friend are connected by and, they refer to the same person. Therefore, the verb also becomes singular. Please read the sentences carefully while doing subject verb agreement to avoid unnecessary errors. Now, common mistakes to avoid when you are practicing subject verb agreement. Now, first is incorrect verb form. using the wrong verb form such as was instead of were or is instead of are. Read the sentences very carefully and then decide whether it is a singular subject or a plural subject and use the verb accordingly. Uh, Especially errors arise in subjects which begin with each or everyone, because these are singular subjects. When we say each, we refer to individual subjects. Therefore, the verb also becomes singular, which is the same second point, which subject verb agreement with pronouns. Failing to agree with pronouns such as everyone or each, which are singular. Moving on, subject verb agreement with clauses. Failing to agree with clauses such as the fact that or the number of, which can be singular or plural. Like if I say the cost of apples has risen. Now, if we consider apples here, many people make the error that they write the cost of apples have risen because they see apples. As apples is plural, they immediately think that the verb will also be plural. But here, what we have to consider is the cost. Apples have not risen. The cost has risen. So the subject here is cost. Please be careful and do not make such errors. Ignoring collective nouns, same that failing to recognize collective nouns as whether they refer to a group or to individual members of that group. So the collective nouns can take either singular or plural verbs based on the meaning of the sentence. Incorrect use of singular and plural verbs. Using singular verbs with plural subjects or vice versa, especially with nouns that end in s, like news and mathematics and physics and economics, such nouns always take singular verbs. Please be careful. Now, some examples of errors, like the team are going to the championship, it will be the team is, because the team as a whole is referred to as a group here. So it's a collective noun that takes a singular verb. Next, everyone are invited to the party. Here it will be everyone is, because each person is considered individually here. Next, the fact that he is tired make him sleepy. Now, the fact that he is tired makes him sleepy. Because the fact is singular, therefore makes will also be singular. Next, the data show that. Now, data is a singular term. So show will also be singular, which will be the data shows that. Like when you are considering data as in statistics or you have collected some data, you cannot really count data. It's uncountable. So it will be shows. Please be careful and do not make such errors. So with that, we have come to the end of our topic today. I hope you have gained some knowledge from this video and your confusion regarding subject verb agreement has somewhat been cleared. If you have any other queries, you can always comment below. Thank you.